If you want to understand how MSP marketing works, then just remember that you are a local service business, just like other local service businesses, restaurants, dry cleaning, other B2B, local lawyers, it doesn't matter. If people want to work with a local business, which in the MSP space is very often the case because they like the fact the MSP is both close by in case of an emergency. So that means you just have to think about, hey, how do I shop for a local business, right? Let's pretend that you're somewhere here in the city center and you're trying to go out for dinner, right? Service business. So how would you do that? Well, you'd probably go to Google Maps because you want to know how far you have to drive and what you're going to spend, and you're trying to find the food you like, right? So people search the same way for MSPs. How far away is the MSP? What's the price point like? Does this MSP have the style, capability, culture, and focus, SLAs to serve me correctly, right? Are they too high end? Are they just right? Are they too low end, etc.? So think about yourself going out for dinner. You would probably consider, going for dinner normally in this range. But you don't want to go too far, right? It's far. I don't want to drive an hour to go for dinner. I want to have walking distance, ideally, or drive 5 or 10 minutes maximum. But every once in a while, right, you know that there is this glorious, glorious restaurant right here, and you found it by accident, and it's a gem, and you're so curious about it because when you were scrolling through Google Maps and you were going on your, hey, we played out all the restaurants in the market, and now we're trying to find that really, really special one. You found it because its review count, drew your attention. And then you read the reviews and they were freaking amazing. And then you took a look at the pictures and the food looked stunning. And you immediately understood, okay, this business is having really, really high ratings and such great reviews because the food's fantastic and the ambiance in the restaurant looks amazing, right? So there's a fit. You're like, okay, all of this logically works together. This place is amazing. I shall migrate for an hour to go here during the weekend sometime when I want to, surprise my wife. If the review count is super duper high and the reviews are all glowingly amazing and everything is super, super over the top and you're reading it like, wow, this must be fantastic. And then you look at the pictures of the food and the food looks like trash and the ambiance is shit, you immediately assume that everything is fake, right? And you break trust, you won't go there. So the whole package needs to be coherent. It can't just be, oh, they have a high review count, now we're going to migrate and we're going to work with this business. No, the review count gets the click. But then everything else needs to fit. So it works very similar in the MSP space. And what that also means is that if you're on a corner somewhere, you can definitely still get people to migrate to you or want to do business with you. You just got to optimize intelligently and provoke the click and then provoke them wanting to work with you.